Hi children, good morning. How are you? So I hope you are writing examinations well and you are attending well. The English examinations, I think you have written and you have done a good job and a splendid job. I hope that. So the previous class I discussed with you and I explained you Unit 2 Reading C, that is the Brave Potter. So we have completed the 3 sections and the 3 parts. And today the next part, the remaining lesson, and now we are going to this class and I am going to complete the lesson. After this lesson, and definitely I want to give you homework regarding the paragraphs from this unit C, unit 3, and from the part of the lesson unit C, reading the Brave Water. In examination point of view, what type of questions we are expecting, how do we read the para, and in what way and how we have to understand this para, and the content, the very important, rather than reading lesson, the content you must have to understand. Right, children? So if you are not read the lesson, if you do not read the lesson till now, so after completion of this video and this class, you have to and you must read the lesson, otherwise you cannot guess and you cannot understand the content. The content is very important rather than the learning the questions. I hope you are getting. I hope you are getting. The content you must understand after what I teach you. You have to read the textbook. So reading the textbook is the way to learn in a better manner. The way you have to learn in a better way. So completion of the lesson, must read the textbook. Otherwise you cannot understand the concept, you cannot understand the content. Unless you understand the content, you are not able to write whatever the questions regarding the lesson. So from the nowadays, the questions are not from the passage, the questions is being asked by the examiner based on the content. So that's why you have to read the textbook. Right? So in the previous class, I discussed with you that is when the Porter went to the palace, there the emperor ordered his servant to arrange a special house for the Porters and his wife. Then Porter did not know how to ride it. Even one time also he did not carry a sword. Then he thought, that night he couldn't sleep. He thought, from the early morning I must wake up and have to learn how to ride a horse. As he thought the previous night, and he woke up in the morning and went into the stable where the young and the brown horse was waiting for his master. Then it was so high rather than his height. Asked his wife, keep the bench beside him, and that he want to use as a step. Even it is not enough to climb on the back of his horse. Then anyhow he climbed with a difficulty and asked his wife, please tie my legs with the stirrups with a rope. Asked his wife. So till then, and we discussed the previous class. Now from that onwards, and let me complete the lesson. his wife found some rope and bound her husband's feet tightly to the stirrups. My dear students, the word stirrups, you might understand. See, the word stirrups like this, there, even the foot will be kept here. So, either sides of the horse, there would be stirrups to keep the foot. So here the porter asked his wife to tie his feet to the stirrups tightly with the ropes. And she then passed the rope underneath the horse and tied the two stirrups together. Then underneath, the word underneath, see here, underneath, which means below. Below. Right? And then she refers to porter's wife. She passed the rope underneath the horse and tied the two stirrups together. So, ఈ రోప్ ఇలా తీసుకొచ్చేసి దీన్ని కింద నుంచి ఈ రెండు కదలకుండా రెండింటిని జాయింట్ చేసి కట్టేస్తున్నాను. And she also passed a length of rope around the porter's waist and tied him to the saddle. Now, here the porter said to his wife, "Now please tie my hands to his neck." So here the porter asked his wife, even tie my hands to the horse's neck. Meanwhile, the big brown horse was impatiently pawing his hooves on the ground. So when the porter's wife was moving the rope around his neck, and at the time this big brown horse impatiently moved his hooves. Gittalu antam. When the porter's wife tried to pass the another rope around his neck, its neck means the horse's neck, the horse suddenly jumped free. So and she was bringing the another rope, another round of the rope around its neck when she was trying to tie. Immediately and suddenly here the horse was jumped off. It galloped out of the stable with the porter hanging like a sack of rice on its back. So when it galloped, once he jumped out of the stable, at the time the porter fell on its saddle just like a sack of rice bag. Sack means a bag, rice bag. Just గుర్రానికి అటు ఇటు ఇలా పడిపోయాడు అన్నమాట. Only the ropes kept him from the crashing to the ground. The porter held tightly to the horse's neck and prayed all the gods to save his life. So it was galloping, it was running. The horse was running towards the enemy's tent. At the time, the only hope, even he could not know and how to control the horse, because he never rode the horse in his life. So at the time when it was galloping, when it was running, and he hold its horse neck tightly, and he prayed all the gods. That is the only thing that he could do. Otherwise he cannot do anything. After galloping through the quiet streets, the streets are very quiet and silent, the horse crashed through the city gates and raced across the open fields. It leapt in the sense it jumped over fences and streams and began to head for the empty camp. So here the horse was galloping and it was leapt over the fences and the streams and began ahead of the enemy's camp, where the enemies are stayed towards that camp, and it was galloping, it was jumping. Right? And next one, when the porter realized where they were going, he tried harder than ever to stop the horse. So the porter realized, when the porter realized where they were going, then he found it was very hard to stop the horse. He pulled widely on the reins, but it was no use. So in order to control the horse, here the porter pulled the reins tightly, but no use. That means the horse did not stop. The horse was galloped on, jumped on. When they passed a young tree, so here they refers to the horse and the porter. When they passed by the side of the young tree, the porter grabbed a branch. Grabbed means try to grab the branch of the tree, but the horse did not stop. Instead, the tree was pulled out of the ground. A sentry of the enemy camp saw the porter galloping towards the camp with a tree in one hand and in his reins in another hand. See, the horse, even the porter can hold this the branch of the tree, but the horse did not stop, and even the tree was pulled with its root. So this was a picture was seen by the sentry. Sentry means the general of the army of the enemy's camp. He saw this situation, this picture, this scene, and he thought, oh, he may be a brave porter, and he saw the brave porter is another one hand is in his horse reins and another hand is in the tree. So he was so shocked and he was afraid. That must be the general who captured a tiger with his bare hands, he thought, the sentry thought. Now, he has uprooted a tree with only one hand. So he thought, the sentry, the enemy's camp of the sentry, the general of the enemy's camp, he thought he may be a brave porter who captured the tiger, even he was uprooted a tree with only one hand. He is not an ordinary man, he is a giant, he thought. Then the sentry said to his soldiers, run, save yourself. The famous tiger general is coming at the head of a large army to attack us. He shouted, and he was shouted just like an alarm. Run, and save yourself. That he bring to the notice of this the army, the group of armies, because the famous tiger general is coming ahead of our tent, the army, to attack us. He has the strength of a giant. He has uprooted a tree with one hand. So whatever that he had been seen, so he told his soldiers. He was a giant. He was not a normal common man, as an ordinary man. He was a giant, and even he was uprooted a huge tree with one hand. So that's why, please save yourself and run and leave this tents and leave this camp and save yourself. He was shouted. Then the frightened soldiers fled. Their king was left by himself in his tent. Hurriedly, he wrote a letter begging for the peace and apologizing for the attacking the country. So the soldiers ran away and fled away. Only the king, their king was left himself is in his tent. Then he started hurriedly and quickly he started to write a letter begging for peace. He left this letter in the tent. Then he jumped on his ass and followed his soldiers. Even the king also, who is ready to attack, even he was afraid, and he wrote a letter in his tent, and then he left the letter, and he's also followed his soldier. Then he jumped off his horse behind his soldiers. When the porter's brown horse reached the deserted camp, the word deserted, that means left, that means empty. Right? Empty. Deserted camp stopped. The horse came to this deserted camp and they stopped. With shaking hands, the porter untied his feet and fell to the ground. So, when the horse stopped, the porter was shook, and with shaking of his hands, the porter untied himself from the horse and he fell on the ground. When he looked around, he was surprised to find the camp empty. So after he fell down on the ground, he looked around. Then he couldn't find anyone here, and he found the camp was empty. He looked into the king's tent and found the letter. Then he went to where the kings live. There he went there, and he found there was no king, and he found a letter which was written by the kings. The puzzled porter walked back to the city with the letter in his pocket. The puzzled porter was puzzled because he was confused. He did not know what happened. Then he only found a letter which was written by the king for begging for peace, and took the letter and walking to the city, went to his wife and gave to her the letter to his wife. Dear wife, he said, never in my life will I ride a horse again. He said, and he spoke to his wife, dear wife, never in my life I will ride a horse again. And please take this letter to our king and tell him that the enemy has run away. So now I am tired. So take this letter and give to the king, and our king, the enemy has run away, and tell him this news. Then I am going to bed. His wife ran towards the palace with the letter. When the king read the letter, he was full of praise for his news general. So after read the letter, the king felt very happy. He asked the porter's wife, her husband, where her husband was. The king asked again, where was your husband? Then he said, my husband is tired, and your majesty, the servants have put him to bed, answered the wife respectfully. Then the king said, let him rest today. Tell him to come tomorrow to receive his reward. Okay, because he fought so bravely, and I thought, so that's why let him take a rest today, and ask him to come here and receive the reward. The next morning, the porter went to the king's palace. He left the brown horse in the stable and walked to the palace with his wife. So, actually, the king gave him the brown horse, but he did not come to the palace with the horse. So he left the brown horse in the stable because he did not know how to ride. If he was riding, definitely he will fall on the ground, and the people would look at me and would laugh at me. Definitely, he thought, that's why. And he left the brown horse at the stable, and he and his wife walked through the city streets to the palace. The streets were filled with cheering crowds. They had all heard about his brave action. The people heard about his brave action. Look how humble he is, they said to each other. The people stand either side of the streets. While he was walking, they were murmuring themselves. See how humble he is, how simple he is, but he is brave like this. And they were looking and they were talking to each other. Any other man would ride to the palace on a horse, but he was walking like an ordinary man. He is truly a humble and a brave man. Any other man, if any other man in the place of this porter, definitely he feel and that he was proud, and he was going to palace on the horse. But he is really a brave and walking like an ordinary man is how humble he is, how brave he is. In such a way, the people are praising, the people are talking to each other about his great activities. The king rewarded the potter so well that he did not need to work again. So, ఎంత బహుమానం ప్రకటించాడు అంటే king, even until he lives on this earth, so he did not need to do work. పని చేయకుండా కష్టపడకుండా తన జీవితాంతం బ్రతుకున్నంత కాలము ఆ యొక్క రివార్డ్ని ఉపయోగించుకొని తన బ్రతకొచ్చు. అటువంటి రివార్డు కింగ్ ఇచ్చాడు. The country was peaceful for the rest of his life and the potter never rode a horse again. The country was peace because the enemy has run away and the potter never rode a horse again. So this was about the lesson, the brave potter. And today, and we completed the lesson, the brave potter, right? So, my dear children, now you are writing examinations. After completion of this examination, definitely, and regarding this second unit, every day 2 paragraphs, and I will upload you that you have to write paragraphs. Until then, take care. Read the lesson. Right.